guys, how's it going? Master Bucks here. Welcome to the video and welcome to my Team of the Year selection. Now, for those of you that don't know, in previous FIFAs, the Team of the Year was selected based on the FIF Pro World 11. However, this year, it's going to be a little bit different. For FIFA 18, it's decided by a Team of the Year vote. The vote goes out to fans, media, members of the community, and very, very thankfully, I have been selected to get my very own vote for Team of the Year. I have very graciously been sent this awesome box by EA Sports to make my Team of the Year vote. And just before we crack on today, I'm going to take a really quick second to update you on a few things. Obviously, I've been away for a very long time. This is probably the first video I'm uploading all year. That's to give you a bit of an idea. However, don't worry because I'm making it up to you starting from today. Of course, we've got this Team of the Year video, but tomorrow is a certain video that a few of you have been pretty keen on. That one particular video, which very annoyingly had to be put off for a while, is finally coming tomorrow. I'm also thinking too, by the way, that very, very soon I'm going to be bringing back 30 days of career mode. My thoughts are for the whole month of February, one career mode video every single day. And yes, I know there's only 28 days in February, but moving right along. But there we go. Quick update, back to Team of the Year. So let's take a look what's inside this bad boy and get started. First off is this awesome metallic board, which I'm going to be placing my selections on. Also inside this box is a bunch of magnetic Ultimate Team cards that I'm going to be sticking onto this when I make my selections. So I'll just chuck this aside for now and we'll put that right in the middle. Now to start this off, we are going to go with goalkeepers. Let's take a look. This year, the 5 nominated goalkeepers are Buffon, De Gea, Lloris, Navas, and Jan Oblak. Now out of the 5 available goalkeepers, I think there's really only 3 that I'm interested or really considering putting in. First one's going to be Gianluigi Buffon. I feel like he's definitely had a pretty good year. The second will be David De Gea, arguably the best keeper in the world. And the third one is going to be Keylor Navas. Buffon obviously showing his class even at the ripe old age that he is. I feel like the fact that he made it all the way to the Champions League final would have been so sweet if he did end up winning it, but unfortunately not to be. You've got David De Gea, who again, arguably is the best goalkeeper in the world right now, and I feel like we've pretty much all agreed upon that as a football fan base now. And Keylor Navas has won back-to-back La Ligas, back-to-back Champions League, and even though if you want to focus on 2017, he had a phenomenal 2017, but it's a tricky one. I'm going to do myself a favour and narrow it down to 2. I'm probably going to get rid of Gianluigi Buffon and make it just between De Gea and Navas. Keylor Navas, as I had from a titles and trophy standpoint, had a phenomenal year winning Champions League, winning the La Liga, and of course the Club World Cup as well. I mean, phenomenal. He's won nearly almost every single trophy available to him in this year. Not to say that David De Gea didn't have success, obviously not on the level of Navas, but Europa League and some other titles as well. Look, it's tough for me to pick De Gea over Navas, despite the fact that Navas has had, at least from a titles perspective, a much better year. But, I mean, they're trying to... Real Madrid has been trying to replace Navas with De Gea for what, how many years now? I feel like it's pretty obvious. We're going to go with David De Gea in goal. Now, moving on from goalkeepers, we're going to select our back 4. We got a big selection of defenders to go for here, so I'm probably just going to go position by position. Left back, centre back, right back. And I'm going to try to pick, the actual positions and not just go for 4 centre backs or 4 right backs, 4 left backs. I want to keep a little bit of consistency. I'll probably start things off with centre backs, and for me, there's really one bloke that just immediately gets on, and that's going to have to be Sergio Ramos. Yes, Real Madrid struggling a little bit toward the tail end of 2017, but you cannot have Sergio Ramos not in that team. And just while I'm bigging up Real Madrid, just quietly, I think there's one other Real Madrid defender that will get into this team, and that's going to be Marcelo at left back. I was very close to putting Marcos Alonso in that position as well. It was a bit of a toss-up between him and Marcelo, but in the end, I don't feel like you can make a wrong choice with putting Marcelo at left back. Now, I'm really struggling out of the rest of the centre backs available to pick a second. It is a struggle for me. For me, I probably think it's between these two. It's either Bonucci or Azpilicueta, and it's a tough one, Bonucci, since moving to AC Milan, and they've sort of struggled toward the tail end of 2017. Azpilicueta has really just continued to be defensively solid and also providing just a mega amount of assists and just being a phenomenal player. You know what? I feel like I've convinced myself. I'm going to go with Azpilicueta as the second centre-back. Now all that's left is the right-back position, and to be totally honest, guys, it's I'm seriously struggling, like really hard. I'm giving a lot of thought to every single position. Look, it's definitely hard to mess up your selection at right-back because there are some quality right-backs in here. You got Dani Alves, who has made frequent appearances in the Team of the Year. You've got Antonio Valencia, who's been almost seamless with his transition. I know it's been a while now, but he's really made that right-back position his own. But for me, there's one guy that maybe might surprise a few of you with this selection, but I really don't think he's been getting as much praise as maybe he should be, and that is going to be Joshua Kimmich. Maybe one way I could convince you of this pick is, like, say Philipp Lahm, for example, okay? One of the best right backs of all time, absolutely brilliant for Bayern Munich for so many years, and when he retired, everyone thought, well, wow, how are they going to replace him, and how are they going to keep the quality in that position for that Bayern Munich team? Well, in goes Kimmich, and he has done a phenomenal job. One of the better younger players in football right now, and you know what? I've got no issues with that pick whatsoever. Now it's getting interesting. In come the midfielders. Let's do this. So, this is going to be a genuinely tough one, because I'll be honest, I have so many players I want to put into this team, but at least it's kind of easy for me in one regard. It's made a little bit easier for me because there is one player who absolutely has to be in this team of the year, and that is Kevin De Bruyne. Just so we're clear, are we all in agreement that he is quite possibly the best playmaker in the world, maybe second to Lionel Messi? This guy gets assists for fun, he can score goals, and he can score some banging goals at that as well. And it's not just the high number of assists that he's got throughout the year as well, it's some of the quality, the type of assists that he pulls off. He really does do some phenomenal things on a football pitch. But now it's made a hell of a lot harder for me because we've got to try to fill these two positions, and I have no idea, out of all these guys, who I'm going to put in there. Look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through and select every single player I think is a pretty good shout of making it into this team. And you'll see that I'm taking a lot of picks. All right, sweet. So from however many we've got there down to 7. And from these 7, I need to try to somehow cut them down to 2. We've got Modric, Thiago, Dybala, Kroos, Nainggolan, Casemiro, and Conte. Now, out of these 7 guys, I'm preferably going to look to try to find someone that's better as like a deeper lying playmaker or a defensive midfielder, and another one that's better further up the pitch. Man, I'm having a tough one. Look, I'll be honest. Right now, I've got my eyes on Conte to go in that defensive midfield position, even though, I'll be totally honest, I kind of think he's maybe getting a little bit overhyped at this point in his career. I mean, like, he's definitely quality, but I'm not sure if he's team of the year quality, but I know saying that, he's still a very popular pick. With good reason too, he's a quality player for sure, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if he's really the sort of guy that should be getting in over a guy like, I don't know, a Kroos, or to be honest, even a Casemiro. Casemiro has been great for Real Madrid, and I don't think I'll put him in the team, but I wanted to give him props. Thiago, another guy that's great, but maybe won't get in, but I just wanted to give him some acknowledgement. Dybala's a very close one too, and Nainggolan as well. Man, it's a tough one. All I know for a fact is that at least one of these 2 midfielders has to get in there, either Modric or Kroos. And out of the 2 of them, man, they're tough to split, really. But I feel like Modric is probably a pretty safe bet. So I'm going to stick him alongside De Bruyne, and now we have that one more spot left to fill. Now all we've got to do is find the selection, that last midfielder for that position. And look, I'll be honest, even though, do I want to pick Conte because I know he's going to get into the team of the year, or should I pick who I feel should get in there? All right, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there, okay? I know that N'Golo Conte is going to make it into the FIFA 18 team of the year. There's no way that he doesn't, but I'm not going to put him in. I'm just going to pick who I think should get in there. For me, I think I'm going to go with either Dybala or Kroos. I think they're probably the 2 that I'm eyeing off at the moment. I really do rate Dybala quite highly. I think he very easily could make it into the team of the year, but I think now that I've already put De Bruyne and Modric in, I'm not sure if I can put Dybala in. I feel like it would make more sense for me maybe to stick Toni Kroos in there. I was having a really tough time splitting both Kroos and Modric, and you know what? I feel like Kroos slotting into that position, Kroos, Modric, De Bruyne, that's a solid midfield. I'm leaving out so many quality players. Conte's out there. We've got Dybala still out there as well. Oh, dear. You know what? That's my midfield. I've got no issues with that midfield whatsoever. Now we move on into the attackers. Now, with only 3 slots available, the attackers should be pretty straightforward, but it could get a bit interesting. Now, there is one player that, without question, goes immediately onto this board. And that player, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and only Lionel Messi. For me personally, I thought he was individually the best player in 2017, performance-wise. His titles didn't really back that up in 2017, but still for me, I thought he was phenomenal. And on the other wing, on the left-hand side, you know I've got to put this man in, the man that won the Ballon d'Or, the FIFA Best Men's Player of the Year. He has to go in. It is Cristiano Ronaldo, the cover athlete. And look, I'll be honest, I was very close to putting Neymar in instead of Cristiano Ronaldo. But the fact is, you win the Ballon d'Or, you win FIFA Best Men's Player. I mean, you're going to get into the team of the year. There's no way that Ronaldo doesn't end up in the team of the year. And you know what? He definitely deserves to be in there. Of course he does. But the fact is, Neymar's now going to miss out on a spot because I don't want to put him at striker. I nearly did put Neymar in at that left wing position because toward the tail end of 2017, he's been phenomenal, and Ronaldo has genuinely struggled. He's only got 2 league goals. We all know about his conversion rate issues and the fact that he's really firing but not sticking it in the back of the net. But The thing is, you win all those individual honours and all of those titles throughout the year, you've got to end up in this team. So even though Ronaldo has really struggled going into 2018, I feel like it doesn't even matter with how he ended the previous season. And so that now leaves the final spot in this team, and that is the striker. Now, there are two players that pop up into mind and two only. And those two names for me are Kylian Mbappe and the one and only Harry Kane. Kylian Mbappe, despite being so young and despite only really coming onto the scene now in the last year or so, has helped lead Monaco to the Ligue 1 title, something that he has over Harry Kane, the fact that he has actually won silverware in 2017, or just one silverware period. He does incredibly well in the Champions League, especially toward the knockouts, and then of course goes for the staggering amount of cash that he did to PSG, and he's still continuing on where he left off at Monaco. Mbappe has genuine potential to be one of the best in the world and may be a future Ballon d'Or winner. But the same can also be said for this man, Harry Kane, who had, again, an extraordinary year. I think he finished leading goal scorer throughout all the top 5 leagues in Europe, of course, as both goals for club and country. I think he got something like 8 hat-tricks in 2017. Like, Ronaldo and Messi didn't even get close to that number. That is seriously impressive. But the thing is, again, like I said, working against him, the fact that he didn't really win anything in 2017. Look, I'll be honest. Personally, I think if you just look at their years individually and you take titles and you take honours out of it, there's probably a clear-cut winner, although you really do have to consider titles, especially in this current climate. If you're not winning trophies, then what's it for? There is definitely that stigma at the moment, but I'm not a personally big fan of that sort of stigma. I think this lad is going to feature in many, many Team of the Years throughout his career. He may even pick up a Ballon d'Or or two because he has that sort of potential, but this time, I'm sorry, mate, not happening. Harry Kane is going to slide into the striker position and finish my Team of the Year for FIFA 18. David De Gea, the goalkeeper, Marcelo, the left back, Kimmich, the right back, the two centre backs, Sergio Ramos and Cesar Azpilicueta, the midfielders, Kevin De Bruyne, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, and the attackers, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Harry Kane at striker. And so everybody, there we go. That is my FIFA 18 Team of the Year. Once again, I would like to say thank you so much to EA Sports for sending this over. I think it's absolutely sick that they are now actually giving the Team of the Year vote to us, to the fans, to media, and to guys like me that actually get to submit a vote now. And this, once again, is the team I will be submitting. There were definitely some players I really wanted to put into this team, but there are only 11 spots, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm still pretty happy with the team that we've come up with. And again, of course, I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. Do you agree with my Team of the Year? Are there any players you would take out, and who would you replace them with? Of course, that's what the comment section is there for. I don't know why you would want to remove any players from that Team of the Year, since that's basically what the Team of the Year is going to be, or at least I hope so. We'll find out in a couple of days. Until next time, my name is the Master Bucks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.